There is a time for everything. There is a time for fighting, and a time for being fought for. This uncharted season, unwelcome storm, untrodden path, there is a time to burrow, to seek shelter, to draw closer to the one who loves us, who holds us in his hands. We are held alongside those battle-scarred from the times before. Let us learn their resilience, brought to their knees by disease, but raised up by our restorer. Shake off the dust and stand up. We have weathered. We have won. Whatever is has already been, and what will be has been before. A season of spring with the bleakness of winter. A time for limitation, for lockdown, to liberate life, a time to refrain from embracing. A time to be alone, though not for loneliness. A time for breathing in, and a time for breathing out. The simple rhythms of release. There is a time for grounding. There is a time to learn, to listen, to weave and work and wait, to treasure and ponder, to potter, to hibernate. And for some, there is a time of hard graft. There is chaos, there is panic, there is not enough time. There is the weight of the world on your shoulders. There are too many people trusting you. There is not enough of you, but even you are not alone. There is a time to hand over heavy burdens. There is a time for rest. There is a time for extravagant gratitude, for applause, for lifting and uniting our voices, for that is all we can do for now. There is a time for mourning. There is a time for loss, for grief. These are colours on the canvas too. There is a time for raging, for rude, raw pain. This is not fair. They did not have enough time. There is a time for healing. Take it. Take your time. Let it in. He is the beginning, and he is the end. Death is not a road untaken, nor is it the end. Fear and worry are the thieves of time. Their way of worming within, it's wearying. There is a time for courageous peace. There is a time for sleeping through the storm. The winds and the waves still know his name. Be still. This is a time to dig deep, to invest in play, in people, to rediscover our roots, to adapt, to invent, to fall back in love with simplicity, inventive in scarcity, to dance like no one's watching, because they're not. The time to unfurl, to plant. There is a time for rainbows raining over windows, for remembering promises that have been, that will be fulfilled. There is always time for hope. There is a time for starting again. And spring is not waiting for us, is not leaving us lonely in winter. Time has not stopped. The sun blazes oblivious. Bluebells bloom in defiance. Babies are born. Deer are the citizens of cities. Rivers run clear. Nature returns, reclaims, and all over the earth thrums with new life. And, in time, this season will give way to the next. There will be a time of stepping out. Sunlight, unrationed. Open doors, open arms. A new nation breathing out the changes we have inhaled. Hailing a brave new weathered world. No more emotionless motion, nothing taken for granted. The seeds of tomorrow are planted. There will be a time of celebrating the extraordinary ordinary things, not a long-forgotten dream or seen through a screen, but a fingertip away. A handshake, a hug, a proper British cue, a pint at the pub. But this is tomorrow. There is time for that too. There is a time to emerge from the safety of your cocoon, transformed, but not too soon. In your heart, God has placed eternity. So for now, the time is to wait and see.